First off, let me apologize for any weird phrases or grammar mistakes in my post. English is not my first language, and I'm not that good with translating courtroom terms and words. I, 18 female, was raised by a single mother. My parents divorced when I was just 2 months old, and my mom got full custody of me. So I never met my father. All I've ever really known about him is his name and the amount of child support money he transferred into my bank account each month. Now, in my country, a non-custodial parent is obligated to pay child support up until their kid turns 18. But this can be extended for a few more years on the condition that said child decides to pursue a higher education and go to university. So as you can already guess, as soon as I turned 18, my father stopped paying child support. But when I graduated high school and got accepted into a university, I decided to use this extended child support law to my advantage and took him to court. Me and my mom weren't doing all that well financially, and I thought the extra money would definitely come in handy. The case took quite a few months to get resolved, and the courtroom was the first and last place where I saw my father in person. His reasoning for not wanting to continue paying child support after I turned 18 was that I didn't want to have any sort of relationship with him, so he didn't want to send money to a complete stranger each month anymore. He told the judge he'd agreed to continue paying child support on the condition that I agreed to get to know him and talk to him on a regular basis. But I declined. I mean, even if biologically he's my father, this man is nothing more than a stranger to me. I have no real interest in getting to know him, and I never did. Wanting to have a relationship with him would be like wanting to have a relationship with a sperm donor who conceived you. I ended up winning the case because the law is very clear on the fact that he has to pay child support for as long as I'm in university, regardless of whether I want to actually interact with him or not. Now he has to pay child support every month up until I graduate from university. We ended up getting in a huge argument as soon as the last court hearing was over, and he was really upset because I didn't even want to talk to him for a while and give him a chance, but still wanted to prey on his money. So from a legal point of view, I'm in a right. But am I in a right from a moral point of view too? Am I in a wrong? I should also add that my father never made any attempts to pursue a relationship with me while I was growing up, and neither did I. My mom never actively tried to get me to meet him, but at the same time she made it clear that she was always open to talk if I wanted to know more about him, and ready to answer any questions that I might have had. Except that, well, I never really had any questions to ask her. I was never really interested in him. She also never bad-mouthed my father and never tried to stop us from meeting each other, but neither of us ever made any sort of attempt to do so. I don't think he's a bad man, but I don't think he's a good man either. He's just a stranger who didn't want to be involved in my life, so I don't want to be involved in his life either. I don't resent him, I have no reason to. It's just plain old disinterest both on my part and his. And now for some comments. You're not in the wrong. You didn't ask to be born, and you certainly didn't ask to have an absent father. You're the kid here, he has obligations. You do not. Good luck with school. Not in the wrong. Law is clear. He had 18 years to build a relationship and declined. I've seen some men do this before. They don't want anything to do with a child, but once the child is grown, they want to connect and play the role of dad to someone that doesn't want or need it any longer. No, you're not in the wrong. He had his chance to connect with you. You're right. He's essentially a stranger to you. 4 years ago, I, then 26 female, received messages and photos from my then 36 male brother-in-law in a group family chat. My brother-in-law was a student doctor at the time, and his messages contained the patient's name and 2 photos of the patient after a significant surgery. I was horrified that he chose to share this, and responded via the family group chat that it was inappropriate and not okay that he had shared this information. He responded via the group, "Thanks for the lecture," and his girlfriend sent me some messages attacking my character as I didn't normally communicate via the family chat. After thinking about the situations for a few hours, I felt it necessary to contact my brother-in-law's university. I explained the situation to a staff member and stated that I was not calling to get him in trouble, but that I was calling so that a professional at his university, someone he respects, can highlight the importance of patient confidentiality to him. His university spoke to him, and as far as I'm aware, there were no formal disciplinary action taken against him. However, he, his girlfriend, my sister-in-law, and her husband have come out with comments that I'm a monster and should not be trusted. They have completely removed themselves from me and my children, with only my sister-in-law having a mediocre relationship with my husband via phone calls. There seems to be no resolution in the future. Am I in the wrong for reporting my brother-in-law for breaching patient confidentiality? And now for some comments. You're not in the wrong, but you can hardly expect them to be happy about it when they had already made it clear that they don't respect those rules. Sometimes doing the right thing hurts. You are not in the wrong, and I'm honestly horrified no formal action was taken. This is a huge breach of ethics. Your brother-in-law should never be trusted as a doctor. Honestly, it sounds like the university brushed this under the rug. You are not losing much people with ethics this murky leaving your life. Assuming you're in the US, he's lucky he didn't get into more trouble or fined with HIPAA laws. Patient confidentiality is incredibly important. If he had accidentally sent it in the wrong text or showed any ounce of remorse for the breach, it would be a different story to make an accident as a student. But in this case, definitely you're not in the wrong. My husband 37 male and I 35 female have been married for 15 years. We have had our ups and downs, but we always work it out. We have 2 children, 12 female and 11 male. My husband is in the military where we met, so he spends a lot of time away from home. The last time he was gone, he was out of the country for 2 years. When he got back, I was in charge of packing up the house and relocating to his new duty station. While I was across the country handling the move, the kids were with him getting reacquainted. To get them to love him, he got them a dog. The problem is I'm allergic to pit dander, as is my daughter. He knows this because he brought a dog home when I was pregnant as a surprise that put me in the hospital. With medication we can handle a hypoallergenic breed, and he knows this well. He got a mutt from the pound. I'm 100% on board with adopting versus breeders, which is why we don't have a dog. I also love animals. I will love on someone else's dog in a heartbeat, and suffer for a while scarring down Benadryl. We had a conversation when I got home, and he made me feel like a monster because the kids loved it. But we are miserable. My daughter and I are focused to take allergy medicine every day. Her asthma has gotten worse, and our eczema is out of control. While rubbing cortisone cream on my daughter's legs and back yesterday, I just snapped and told him that if he didn't find a new home, we are leaving. Everyone thinks I'm overreacting, but I can't breathe. There is dog hair everywhere, and no amount of air purifiers is helping. And now for some comments. You're not in the wrong. He bought a dog for his children, one of whom is allergic to them. He didn't think about them at all. You are not in the wrong. The dog is making you both physically sick, and he can't expect you to be happy to live like that. He should have discussed a bit with the whole family before getting one, rather than just acting like he's some sort of great dad. You're not in the wrong. I love animals probably beyond reason. And I'm very much a knee-jerk, of course in the wrong, whenever I read the topic on a post like this. But you and your daughter both are having medical reactions to this. And you're even on board with having a dog, just one that's not as likely to set off your issues. Add in the whole buying the kids love angle, and just, yeah. As much as I feel for the kids, you and your daughter are both physically suffering. Find it a good home, rather than just taking it to the pound, and I would call it good. My other thought is to promise the kids another dog from a hypoallergenic breed to help, but A, it feels like it's making dogs just interchangeable rather than family members, and B, even those I believe can still cause allergy issues, still might be something to keep in mind for the near future, but without the whole, okay, we're just gonna replace this dog, so it's okay lead in. I'm female 31, sister is female 23, and she moved in with me and my husband male 29 a week ago. She does not contribute money but takes on lots of house chores as a way to compensate for it. She'd cook, clean, organize, vacuum, and so on. Yesterday, I was at work and came home and found that she'd done my husband's laundry. I was stunned as I felt this was not her place, nor was it appropriate because, for one, I always do his laundry, and more importantly, I did not think it was appropriate for her to be looking at this. She downplayed the whole thing, saying it was no big deal, and that she saw that I was struggling with work and then kids and wanted to help me by doing the laundry. I told her she shouldn't have done it, but my husband didn't react and she used that to support her argument, saying no one thinks it's a big deal except me. We argued and she shut me down then started crying saying she meant well and was trying to help out. But I couldn't help but think this was not her place. My husband told me to drop it, but I can't shake this weird feeling I got. He told me I should apologize to her for berating her, but I refused. Am I in the wrong? And now for some comments. Take a deep breath. My wife is a part-time nanny. Even though her job description does not include doing the family's laundry, sometimes she does it as a way of keeping busy. That includes the husband's underwear. Big deal, it's just clothes. Repeat as necessary. It is just clothes. You should be thankful that your guest is trying to compensate for your generosity by doing chores rather than being lazy slouch and doing nothing. You are in the wrong, and you really should apologize. You are in the wrong. It seems really possessive to say I always do his laundry. First of all, why is he never doing it? Second of all, why are you so possessive of his laundry? Would you have had an issue if she did the kids' laundry? If you are particular about laundry, thank you for doing the chores, but I prefer to do laundry on my own. It would really be helpful if you could do X instead. Let me get this clear. So, your sister moved in, can contribute in the household finance, and to compensate your family for that, she did most of the household chores. She saw that you have been struggling with juggling between work, taking care of your kids, and chores. And you mad at her, screaming your head until she cried for basically doing your laundry? Wow. Get your insecurities in check. You are in the wrong.